Good. Max right here. Obviously, that BMF belt going to be trying to defend that for the first time on Saturday. But this fight, I think, just between you and Dustin, kind of BMF's defined. So as we sit here on fight week, just what are your feeling towards this matchup?
I feel excited, man. You know, not many guys get to go out there and defend and fight a trilogy that they had 2 losses in already. So it's my second try. Trying not to go 0-6 here, so I'm excited.
You had the first face-off of Fight Week with him yesterday. He said he was surprised how big you were a little bit. What was your takeaways from the stare-down?
I mean, we just locked in, bro. He's a fighter. This guy's a dog, and you can see it in his face. I mean, if you guys wanted a reason to tune in and buy the pay-per-view, send that face-off to your friends because that's what it was, man. That was a great stare-off. We both locked in, and we're both ready. You know, we know what's at stake. He got his last. This is his last dance, and you know, I'm here to play spoiler.
What's the vibes you've been getting from here so far? I mean, technically enemy territory, but you're so loved. Are you feeling? What's it like with the people? How are they?
People have been so nice, man. People are so great here. The food is amazing here, and just general, people are just loving it. You know, at the end of the day. When we go out there, we do the walks. I was just doing an interview, and I was telling DC, I hope my ass get booed. You know what I mean? This is his last dance. He's representing your home state. Boo my ass. Because if we was in Hawaii, I'm pretty sure Hawaiians would be booing whoever I'm walking against, you know?
Yeah. Are you kind of embracing that side of things? Like, you know, some of your interviews, they're like, it seems like you have a little more edge than usual leading into this fight.
I mean, it is what it is, you know. I guess I want to play spoiler, you know. That's what I do. It sucks. It sucks as him, but like I said, man, I was 4-0 when I fought this man. First time, I was 13-fight win streak. Second time, he did me dirty, so I guess I got to do him dirty in his retirement fight.
Yeah, there you go. I think you said in one of your video blogs, like last week when you first got here, that you were 155 already when you were eating the food and stuff. Was that a bit of a joke, or like, what's the weight like now?
No one's ever on the weight that one, you know, that far out. And if you are, then you're in the wrong weight class, buddy.
Yeah, I guess. How do you feel physically, like knowing that featherweight's completely behind you? They obliged and took you out of the rankings finally.
Finally, yeah. Oh man, only took me to freaking threaten them, you know what I mean? It makes no sense. I'm great, you know. Just being able to focus on this camp and not even teeter-tottering on the chance of like, oh, we might go back down, so you know we can't do certain things or we can't supplement in certain ways. So at the end of the day, these 155 camps is the best. You know, I feel good. I feel great. I get to eat a lot more during camp. You know, and even if there's times at 45 where I'm like, oh, I want to eat, and then I go step on the scale and it's like, oh shit. You know, you can't do it. So these 55 camps is way more enjoyable.
Yeah, and, of course, Dustin's wanting to win the fight himself, but I think he said your early victory is the cooler floral shorts. Would you agree you have the better custom ones here?
I mean, yes. Yeah, I know. It's pretty nice, but, you know, after, they need to let us change the color of the shorts. You know, like, come on. Venom or UFC, let us change it up a little bit. You know, we know we're gonna sell it, so we see it happen. His is cool too. I mean, everybody who got custom shorts is pretty sick. You know, so I'm just happy that I'm one of the fighters that got it. I was one of the first ones, so that was dope.
Yeah, and he's gonna have Lil Wayne walk out with him apparently for his walkout. If you could have someone for whenever your retirement fight comes, rap you out or sing you out, who would it be?
If I had to send somebody, it gotta be my man Moki Boy, the guy who sings my Hawaiian kickbox. It needs to be him. Anybody else that would just be disrespectful. You know, I walk into Hawaiian kickboxers for forever now, so if he could do that, would be sick.
Max, you've always been really good-natured about the second loss to Dustin, but was that one that you've always wanted to get back, right? Because it was a very close fight, and you were coming in on short notice and didn't have the time to bulk up. So was there something about that loss that particularly pissed you off?
I mean, I'm not pissed. It is what it is. You know, I signed up for the fight. You know, even if it was short notice, I took the fight thinking that I was gonna go out there and get my hand raised. You know, so you know, I'm not taking nothing away from him, but it was a very you know, competitive fight. You know, a lot of people just because I had that one cut in the fourth round, I think I got the knee to the head, to the face, and that cut. They thought it was a very different fight, but it's a super competitive fight, and it is what it is. You know, I can't wait to go out there and show people Saturday night what we've been working on.
You mentioned about the last camp, you couldn't do too much because you might be going back down to featherweight. Now you've done this camp. Do you feel a difference? Like thinking like, oh, even that camp this is a much better way to do it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I feel a difference. I mean, my last fight, you guys see here, you guys could see my cheekbones way more. I'm sure. So, I look kind of like a skeleton. So I'm just glad here, man. Yeah, you guys see the difference, people are talking about it, how big I am or how wide I am. So it just feels good, I'm a Polynesian, Hawaiian Polynesian. So I'm glad that I get to show that Polynesian a big wrist, big ankle kind of thing,
It's happened a couple of times to you now in your career, so I'm sure you're used to it. But when you had the Volk fights, it felt like, oh, Max's time's gone, and then suddenly you're fighting Topuria again because you got your way back up there. And then I feel like in Abu Dhabi, you even said this is not a funeral after the fight. I felt a bit like, oh, he's lost to Topuria, his time's over again. But realistically, one win over Dustin Poirier, you're right back in the title picture again.
Uh-huh.
Do you believe you can force that Ilia rematch to happen?
For sure, 100%. It's all about moments. If I go out there and have a 300 moment, bro, I'm right there for a title shot. And if it's not for a title shot, then I'm right there for a number one contender shot, whoever it may be. I mean, I see, first things first is always Dustin, but, at the end of the day, I see the media, I see people talking, I see people chirping. And Charles saying too, like I said, I was the happiest guy in the world, bro, when I saw Charles and Topuria fighting. I got history of both of them, and they're fighting, a couple weeks before us. I was like, man, you want a statement win, you got to go make a statement win, and you want to fight, you make it happen. I mean, look at the whole thing with Patty and Ilia, it's the talk of town right now, and that was just a freaking curveball from left field. So at the end of the day, we're in the entertainment business. You go out there, you get a moment, who's to say that I'm not the next one? If not, one more.
Is that part of the not necessarily strategy, you got to win the fight right, but do you have it in your mind that, like, I want to make this thing cool, I got to get cool stuff going?
Yeah, and especially with a guy like Dustin, what I mean? Like I said, everybody keeps saying, if you guys get to the last round and you get to the point where you can do the point down in the last 10 seconds, are you going to give it to Dustin? And I was like, man, Dustin might beat me to it, what I mean? So he might point down before me. So that's just the kind of guy it is. And you look at all of Poirier's fights, you look at my fights, and go show me one boring fight. Me and him are cut from the same cloth. We're your favorite fighter. That would be the saying. So if you're trying to get somebody to watching mixed martial arts, tune in Saturday night. Yeah.
For what it's worth, he said that if you point down at the ground, he's going to go for a takedown and try and guillotine you.
Yeah, I don't believe in that. I heard that. I ain't believing that one bit. He might act like it and then try and do an overhand left or something.
Max, any chance you win this fight by guillotine? You have more than he does.
I mean, I have two of them. I have 2 guillotines on my record, so, but if the opportunity presents itself to say that you jumped the ghillie and jump the ghillie man, it would be pretty cool.
Max, over here. Your son, Rush, is growing up so much now. Has he given you any advice ahead of this fight?
Nah. He's not really a fighter. He's a surfer. So even if he gave me some fighting advice, I'd be like, brother, we're not in the water, we're on land, so calm down with all that talk.
I got you. And one more from me. You famously said you're the best boxer in the UFC. Your boss, Dana White, has gotten into boxing. What do you think of that and the Canelo-Crawford fight?
I mean, it should be a fun one, man. Bro, a lot of people is counting out Terrence, but then, I mean, again, it's Canelo, so it should be a fun fight. I think so. It's going to be a much closer fight than a lot of people think is going to happen. I think Terrence can actually win in there, but, we see what happens. Terrence looked like a big boy too, bro. He looked like a big boy, and he knows wrestling. So at the end of the day, when he's in there in the clinches, I wouldn't be surprised of seeing trips or something from him.
Max, overall, are you expecting a hostile crowd inside Smoothie King Center? And additionally, does that add fuel to your fire?
For sure. I hope so. Like I said, man, I hope so. If the shoe's on the other foot, we're in Hawaii right now, bro, Hawaiians would be booing whoever's ass, booing his ass to the stuff, even though he's so light. And even if I'm light, I hope so. You got to send this guy off, farewell, do it right.
Max, right over here. Back in 2023, you flew out to Singapore. You took on the Korean Zombie in his retirement fight. When you get to be kind of like that chosen one, does it make you feel any type of way? Does the fight week feel any different? And what's it like ultimately knowing that this is going to be their last fight ever?
It's an honor, He's a legend, Talking about Korean Zombie, I actually did. He actually flew me out. We did a bunch of stuff in Korea. I don't know if you guys saw on my YouTube and stuff, but he flew me out to do a bunch of things, seminars and meet and greets, and we got to do his Zombie Fight League. So that was cool, and he actually flying out for this one. So I became close with him and his family and his wife. So it's amazing. You know, they're coming all the way from Korea to come watch the fight. So that's amazing. So at the end of the day, with Dustin, it's an honor, and you know, maybe we can build a friendship like that too.
Are you hopeful that when it becomes your time to lay the gloves down, you get to retire in a favorable place like those two guys?
I mean, we see what happens. You know, UFC Hawaii, is it ever gonna happen? I wouldn't hold my breath. But the next best thing is Las Vegas, baby. You know, the ninth island. So if I can get it there, I would be happy.
Thank you, man.
What's up, Max? Hate to talk about the past, but I got to talk about the past here because this might be my only opportunity. When you knocked out Gaethje at 300, that feeling at the buzzer, all that, do you think that that's like the best a human can feel, like ever doing anything?
Yeah, 100%. You know what I mean? That's the top of the top, bro. I mean, imagine for normal people, you know, like imagine you put $100 on red, right, and it hits. That's exactly what that moment is times 1,000. You know what I mean? Like I can relate to people. Like I stream over on Kick. You know what I mean? Come through and we do some steak streams, bro. I'm screaming like how I knocked out Gaethje when I win, you know, like $100 buy, and you win like 10K. Like holy shit, this is still amazing, you know. So I'm for sure that feeling is unreal.
And for the record, man, I'm from New Orleans. I can tell you now, I'm not gonna boo you, bro.
No, brother, you gotta boo me right now, bro. You gotta do him right, you know. But someone boo his ass, boo this man.
I can't do it, Max. I can't.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Devin Johnson. Max, you've had an enduring career, one that spanned many fights. I just wanted to ask, what is the recovery process that goes into being a UFC fighter?
You know, it's a lot. You know, it takes a village, and I have a. For how long I've been in the UFC, I have a lot of doctor friends now, so that is great. If you can, be friends with your doctor friends so you can call them up at any time. I call them up at any time, and then some of them are rehab people too, so I call them up. They fit me in their schedule, so it takes a lot. It takes a village, and it does help with my wife, you know, what I'm eating. Like before, in my younger days, I used to balloon up like crazy and just eat whatever I want to. Now I eat something, I get heartburn. So you gotta be smart about that. So eating and recovering and taking it serious. And I got family members that own recovery centers, so it's always good having friends and family around.
And I just wanted to say, how motivated are you going into this fight, knowing that you may never get a chance to fight Dustin Poirier again?
Motivated as hell, man. Like I said, whenever you get a shot to try and get one of the loss, this man got 2 wins over me. You know, he got a win over one of my friends, and you know, Hawaii football a long time ago, Cole Brennan era. They lost in the Sugar Bowl here, brother. This is terrible over here. Hawaii needs something in Louisiana, brother.
Boo.
Yeah, there you go, bro. That's what's up.
Yeah. I just wanted to get your thoughts on Islam moving up to welterweight. And how do you think he's going to do out there?
I think he'd be fine, man. I think he'd be good, you know. But people be sleeping on Jack, you know what I mean? And I think Jack is one of the best fighters in the world right now. And I think people is going to find out when that match happens. I don't know. I'm hearing rumors maybe October. I think it's going to be a fun fight, smart fight. But a lot of people counting out Jack for I don't know what reason. They just keep counting him out. Kind of reminds me of when I was like coming up and counting me out about certain fights. So, I mean, he is, you know, he's the number 2 pound for pound in the world right now. But he's the number 2 pound for pound in the world for a reason. So you got to respect that. But, you know, don't sleep on Jack. I think it's going to be a tough and fun fight.
And also with Ilia, he's obviously said that he wants to move up to welterweight because he still wants to challenge Islam if Islam was to win. So do you think does it like muddy the waters for the lightweight division, do you think?
I mean, we see what happens, you know. If he does that on the run that he's doing, I mean, it's kind of hard to deny that, you know, and that would be a freaking huge super fight. And with him having the punching power he has is just unreal, bro. So you can't count him out or whatever in anything. But, I mean, who's to say? You know, that's not my job. I mean, if he goes up, he goes up. You know, he's his man. You know, do I want that fight back? 100%. But, you know, I can't be like, hey, stay down here, blah, 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 and cry about it. So at the end of the day, if he does that, which he probably deserves it, not probably, he deserves it. So I think that would be a fun fight, too. I think that it'd be super interesting if that fight ever was booked. Thank you, guys.